Good evening, parents. Welcome to the NAPLAN Assessment Information Evening. Tonight we will address some concerns regarding the upcoming NAPLAN assessments for your children. Some of the points discussed would be what is NAPLAN and why we assess? Is this part of the Australian curriculum? Scaffolding techniques to address the questions, some assessments we use, and reporting options. NAPLAN is a national assessment program used to assess children's progress over the schooling years for literacy and numeracy. Since 2016, NAPLAN is aligned with the Australian Curriculum Assessing and Reporting Authority, ACRA, to measure students' ability. Every year in May, NAPLAN is administered by ACRA in reading, writing, numeracy, spelling, and grammar skills. The results are not to judge if children have passed or failed. Moreover, it is to help the educational policy makers, schools, students themselves, teachers, and parents to build on students' strengths and provide extra support if needed. Scaffolding is a teaching strategy that is used across the Australian curriculum, and we will look at how this is used across the literacy, literature, and language strands. Scaffolding allows the students to use the existing knowledge to move to a higher level of comprehending, while a supportive framework is provided by adults and capable peers. Students have been working on this example text of the Captain's Chronicle to extract meaning in the 3 English strands. Comprehension skills are taught in the Australian curriculum from foundation stage to Year 6 and it carries over to year group. Comprehension means to understand written, spoken, visual text so the readers can extract the meaning from the presented text. The Australian curriculum is designed to provide students with an ongoing learning. As you can see in Year 3, students build literal and inference meaning and begin to evaluate the text. Following through to Year 4, they expand the content knowledge, and by Year 5, the students have built strategies to analyze information using a variety of sources. Now looking at question 7, the students interpret meaning and apply inference skills to eliminate the incorrect answers. The students use the learned strategies such as visualizing to create a mental image while reading, identifying, and summarizing the text. A learned inferencing strategy requires students to think outside the box. In this example, the role of the gunner is literally outlined. However, it does not highlight the word not. Therefore, students would reread the text, interpret, and infer the meaning from this sentence. To be a gunner, you must be an expert shot. This highlights the gunner would use the skill during the battle. The aim and purpose of a text is for a reader to cognitively process the meaning in the English subject under the key ideas of the Australian curriculum. Students experience imaginative, informative, and persuasive text. Looking at question 1, as the students experience imaginative, informative, and persuasive text, they are able to sequence the text based on their increased knowledge on language, audience, and depth. This example of the Captain's Chronicle with the keywords many jobs on board is language and textual features from other texts, which helps the students to conclude it is a persuasive text. This example is for language devices. Language device allows students to write in a particular way using literary language and device techniques. The skill is for a reader to be persuaded, influenced, create a feeling and thought for that particular text purpose. Therefore, figurative language is a predominant element in a persuasive text, for example, including a simile, a metaphor, or personification, where non-literal words are used to create a certain effect. The skills students master when developing literary language and device techniques allows them to apply this learned knowledge of a metaphor. The next example from the Captain's Chronicle allows the students to use their figurative knowledge of metaphor for the word backbone. NAPLAN is one of the many assessments used throughout a student's learning journey in primary school. The purpose of assessments are to enhance students' learning and monitor their progress for a continuous ongoing learning. The following assessments are used to monitor each area of learning. Formative assessments is embedded throughout the day for every teachable moment to measure the progress during a lesson, for example, verbal feedback, reading and writing activities, and self-reflection. Summative assessments, analyzing data to measure students' progress and ability at the end of a specific period. Diagnostic assessment, a pretest to identify students' prior knowledge, strength, and weakness to create a differentiated learning need. NAPLAN is the national assessment administered yearly by ACRA. Teachers can use a combination of formative and summative assessments in specific learning areas. Read and Retell is a reading assessment that gives teachers a data about a student's comprehension of narrative text and is used in class as an ongoing reading strategy. Oral retell is used to encourage students to think of the story structure and inference about characters. Some of the benefits are active engagement with peers, collaborative use of language features, systematic approach using a story map to guide in retelling. Teacher uses formative method to assess and plan to differentiate. Alternatively, the limitations are limit for choice of text for the whole class participation, more of a memory task, so the comprehension learning objective may not be addressed. Lack of participation due to difficulty of expressive and receptive language skills. A portfolio can be used in a writing assessment, which is collated over a period to show students' progress and achievement. This consists of classroom writing activities, retelling of a story, cloze exercises. This assessment develops students to take ownership of their learning. As the teacher discusses student work at different levels, the expectation for improvement is demonstrated. Some of the benefits: used for summative report termly or yearly, collaborative student and teacher involvement for reflecting on learning, used as evidence to share with the family. Limitations: students choosing unrealistic learning targets. Teacher judgment has to be fair and careful while commenting on students' work to maintain self-esteem. Speaking and listening covers an array of opportunities for assessment, as students provide constructive feedback by following a specific checklist for peer and self-assessment. Teachers model students the skills and examples of work that they do or do not meet the criteria with. Some of the benefits are interacting with peers, using a checklist for learning goal, providing a constructive feedback. Limitations: validity and reliability is questioned, as many students may favor the learning outcome. Therefore, close monitoring by the teacher is necessary. Care for biased feedback to peers if the learning target is not achieved. The NAPLAN Marking Guide is a protocol aligned closely with the Australian curriculum, allowing teachers to assess students' writing using a specific 10 criteria rubric, and writing samples are followed. Some of the benefits: rubric is simple to follow, results are shared with the parents, it caters for a mixed ability students, consists with Australian curriculum. Limitations: it is not differentiated. And how the child feels on the particular assessment day may impact the results also. School's academic performance are judged based on the students' results. Reporting is a teacher's obligation to assess, provide feedback, and report on students' learning. As these assessments are conducted, the results are shared with the students and the parents to provide an ongoing results for their progress, achievement, and strategies. Benefits: students get a chance to share their portfolio with their parents, celebrate their learning. Parents have a clear expectation of the literacy curriculum. Strategies are in place for interventions. Limitations: scheduled time may not suit some parents. If it's held in the evening, students may not be able to participate. Formative and summative assessments can be held anytime. However, NAPLAN is only scheduled when the results are out. This brings us to the end of our NAPLAN assessment discussion. I hope this has cleared a lot of concerns. Please feel free to talk to us tonight or any other day for further clarification. Thank you all for coming.